I was late on my first day. Not because I overslept, not because I didn't care. I stopped for a dog, bleeding on the roadside, trembling under a rain-soaked sheet of newspaper. It wasn't supposed to matter that much. Just a few minutes. But those few minutes changed everything. When I reached the office, my new job, my wife's father's company, he was waiting. Suit pressed, eyes cold. "Late on your first day?" he said, glancing at his watch. "You think this company runs on excuses?" I explained. I told him about the injured stray. He laughed, a short clipped sound. "So you chose a dog over your career?" Before I could reply, he snapped his fingers at HR. "You're fired. We don't hire sentimental fools here." Silence. My wife stood behind him, arms crossed. No defense, no word, just eyes avoiding mine. But then the HR manager's voice cracked through the tension. "Sir, turn on the news." He frowned, annoyed, but picked up the remote. The screen flickered, and there it was, live footage. The same road I stopped on. That dog wasn't just any dog. It had a gold service tag around its neck, a retired canine who had saved dozens during last year's floods. The anchor's voice trembled with emotion. A man stopped to save him this morning, stabilized him with his tie, carried him to a vet, and left before cameras arrived. The footage has gone viral. The anonymous Samaritan. His face paled. My wife's too, and I stood there silent. He cleared his throat, forced a chuckle. "Looks like you did a good deed, but still. Rules are rules." That was it. No apology, just pride wearing a cheap suit, so I left, calmly, quietly. But I didn't walk away defeated. I walked away remembering his tone. That tone that always made me feel small. He hated me from the start. I was the son-in-law he didn't choose. Too humble, too kind, too mediocre for his perfect daughter. But I wasn't weak. Just patient. 3 months passed. I found a job. Smaller firm, honest work. But something in me changed. Not bitterness, precision. I began learning, observing. His company had a pattern. Hidden layoffs, fake audits, offshore accounts. I had seen glimpses before, but never looked deeper. Now I did. A trail of ghost invoices led to a shell company under his name, and my wife's signature. She knew, she benefited. I didn't confront her. I simply moved out. When she asked why, I said I needed space. She thought I was weak again. That's the problem with people like her. They mistake calm for surrender. Weeks later, I leaked everything, not to the police, but to the board, to his investors. Anonymous tip, clean. Evidence attached, dated, organized, every stolen dollar accounted for. And then I waited. The news broke on a Monday morning, 3 months to the day I was fired. CEO under investigation for corporate fraud, possible family involvement. He must have seen it before leaving home, because that same day he came to my office. Yes, my office. You see, the smaller firm I joined wasn't just honest work. It was a rival, one hungry to grow. They offered me a management position after seeing my report on internal efficiency. Now I was leading a merger team, a merger with his company. He burst through my door, face red, voice trembling. "You did this." I looked up slowly, calm as ever. "Did what?" "You ruined me." I leaned back. "You fired me for saving a dog. Maybe this is karma." He slammed his fists on my desk. "You think you can replace me?" I smiled. I already did. The door opened behind him. The board members entered, and my wife followed. Only she didn't stand with him. She stood beside me. He froze. Confusion twisted his face. "She signed over her shares," I said quietly. "Turns out she prefers honesty over inheritance." Her eyes flicked away from both of us, guilt and relief fighting for dominance. She wasn't innocent, but she'd chosen the lesser evil. He stuttered something, words crumbling under their own weight. But it didn't matter. Security entered. The board escorted him out. When the door closed, silence filled the room. My wife tried to speak, but I raised a hand. "It's over," I said. "For both of us." I signed the final merger papers. She left, and I sat there, staring at the city skyline through the glass wall, the same skyline I once thought was too high for me. Funny, all it took was saving one stray and losing everything that wasn't worth keeping. That night, I went back to that same road. The canine, now healed, was there, adopted by the rescue center. He wagged his tail when he saw me. I knelt beside him, whispering, "You and I. We both survived the wrong masters." He licked my hand, gentle and grateful, and for the first time in a long while, I smiled, because justice doesn't always bark. Sometimes it waits, and then it bites.